Welcome to MotoBrief TV, Episode 7. I'm Tom Parker, and today we kick off our coverage of the Dakar Rally. 570 competitors are going to travel 9,273 kilometers over the course of 16 days for the 30th edition of the toughest race in the world. They'll come from That's right, the 2008 Dakar Rally is over before it began. Concerns arose after the killing of 4 French tourists outside the city of Alleg in Mauritania on Christmas Eve. Mauritanian officials first said that the killings were the result of a robbery, but by the day after Christmas announced a possible connection to an Al-Qaeda group in Algeria. Then on Thursday, 3 Mauritanian soldiers were killed in an unrelated incident in the desert. On December 29, Al-Qaeda in North Africa issued a statement criticizing the Mauritanian government for providing an environment for the infidels to run their race. And that statement didn't contain any direct threats against the Dakar, but it did raise concerns even more. By January 4, there were some rumors going around, but everyone was going ahead as planned. Finally, just 18 hours before the rally was scheduled to begin, ASO halted scrutineering and called a meeting where they announced that the 30th annual Dakar Rally was not going to happen. Now, I know there are actually motorcyclists, especially here in the United States, that have never heard of the Dakar Rally. So let me give you some background. In 1977, motorcyclist Thierry Sabine got lost in the Libyan desert during the Abidjan-Nice Rally. He returned from the desert wanting to share it with the world and with a plan to start a desert rally. Less than 2 years later, the first Paris-Dakar Rally began. 182 racers left the Place de Trocadero on December 26, 1978 to race 10,000 kilometers to Dakar. The first rally had a single scratch ranking for all 3 categories. Cyril Neveu won the first rally, riding a Yamaha. The rally course changed every year, eventually starting in other countries like Spain and Portugal. But with rare exception, the race always finished in Dakar, Senegal. The rally has sometimes been called the most dangerous race in the world. 50 participants and spectators have been killed over the last 30 years. Thierry Sabine himself, along with 4 others, died in a helicopter crash during the running of the 1986 Dakar. Despite the risks, competitors return year after year. There's a great PDF file covering the history of the rally through 2006 at the Dakar website. I'll put a link to it in the show notes. 40% of the motorcyclists competing this year would have been first-timers, so this must be devastating for those guys. Many people compete in the Dakar not as part of a professional team, but as privateers. Those guys are self-funded, and they work so hard to get the money together to get to the rally that I'd imagine some of them won't have another shot at this for years. Most people are standing behind the ASO decision to cancel the rally, but they're still taking it pretty hard. Now, marathonrally.com and rallyradio.net have had some great coverage as events have unfolded. Here's some of the feedback they've gotten from the people who were there.
The ASO is telling us that the Dakar Rally for this year was canceled because of terrorist threats in Mauritania. Now, I can't make any comment personally about the veracity of these threats or anything. And I have to trust Etienne, and in my experience with him, I do trust him. We were most likely in danger, so we're not going to go this year. And that's a shame, because I'm sitting here at our little hotel looking at some extremely ready rally machinery.
It was devastating. That's the only way to describe it. And he said, due to information they gleaned that Al-Qaeda had actually directly threatened the Dakar participants, that they had to cancel the rally today. And I can tell you that for me personally, it was overwhelming. And when you think about the year of training and all the hard work, and on top of that, the $250,000 I spent to get here, it's a blow.
You know, it's a way of life for 6 months preparing for the rally, and to have it just canceled is frustrating. You know, why not just run a few specials here and at least have the race? That way we can keep everybody happy, and then say, okay, we can't work it out, and and cancel it then. But to cancel it before it even starts, that's where it's difficult. I know my team spent millions of dollars, and I can only imagine what the other teams have spent on this rally as well.
This isn't the first time they've had to deal with dangerous regions of the world. They've canceled stages in the past. But what do you do when the area you're concerned about covers 8 stages and half the total distance of the rally? Here's some excellent insight from Toby Moody, international motorsports commentator, on a call with Rally Radio.
How do you make a contingency for 8 stages in half the rally distance? I mean, can you do that?
You can't. No, the contingency is it's happened today. That's the contingency. They can't Algeria. That because, when they went to Algeria, people got shot. And there are pictures, there's a picture I can see in my mind of a truck, whether or not it was service or whether or not it was competing, with bullet holes in the windscreen. They cannot afford that to happen again. That happened in the early 80s, and with the power of communication and technology and video 3G off your mobile phone that can be relayed straight back to you in America, they can't afford that nowadays.
The question on everyone's mind is, what does this mean for the future of the Dakar? It's impossible to secure the vast areas that you're dealing with in this rally, especially once competitors start to get spread out along the route during a stage. ASO promises that the rally will return, and they said in their statement that the Dakar is a symbol, and nothing can destroy symbols. Well, that's true, but symbols can be forgotten and just fade from memory. I hope that ASO comes back with a plan for dealing with terrorist threats like this in the future, because they're not going to go away. I'm looking forward to a 2009 Dakar, and I'm hoping that we can all enjoy Thierry Sabine's dream for many years to come. It's been pretty depressing over the last few days. I wish there was something to cheer me up, like a world record-setting motorcycle jump or something like that. Thanks for watching, and until next time, ride often and ride safe.
Aussie daredevil Robbie Madison has welcomed the new year with a new world record. A massive crowd watching on at the Rio All-Suite Casino in Las Vegas as Madison set a new benchmark for the longest motorcycle jump in history.
It's incredible. This is just my life. This is what I've done. This is what I worked so hard for, and I just did it. So
Madison deciding 322 feet wasn't long enough, so he had a second crack at the jump, but failed to go any further.